Welcome back to the Perek Project. What would you say are the keys to living a happy, balanced, productive life? It's a tough question. But in Mishnah 17, Rabbi Yossi is going to share with us 3 teachings which I think are the keys to living such a life. It's a tough question, so let's get going. He starts by telling us that let other people's money and possessions be as dear to you as if they were your own, which obviously on face value means that we should treat other people's belongings as though we would treat them our own belongings. We should have as much consideration for a friend's potential loss of money or possessions as if it was our own. In fact, there's an incredible story in the Talmud that's told that Rabbi Hanina, someone asked him to look after his chickens. So he said, okay. And the chickens hatched some eggs. So he looked after the eggs, and the eggs turned into chickens, and eventually he had so much of those chickens and eggs he couldn't look after them. So what he did was he sold them and invested them into buying some goats, and he used that to invest further. And eventually when the man came back and asked his chickens back, he was expecting his 2 chickens back, but Rabbi Hanina gave him this fortune because he had treated his possessions with as much consideration as though it would have been his own. But on a deeper level, he's telling us something amazing here. And he's telling us that oftentimes we look at other people, what they have, and we want what they have, whether it's their pictures on social media that depict that perfect life, whether it's their holidays that they're taking, whether it's their car, whether it's the house. But he's telling us, take as much joy in your own stuff as though it was your neighbor's stuff, as though it was your friend's stuff. Look at what you have, whether it's your health, whether it's your talents, whether it's your family, whether it's your house, whatever it is that you have, take as much joy in it as if it was someone else's possessions. The second key he tells us is to apply ourselves to the study of Torah, because it is not ours by inheritance. Don't think that just because you're born Jewish, you automatically have Jewish values. No, we only get the Torah wisdom and the values by really applying ourselves to it. On the flip side of that, that means that if you don't have a Jewish educational background, don't let it hold you back, because it's never too late to start. In fact, Maimonides says that nobody is born with superior qualities, and no one's born with deficiencies. Everyone has exactly what we need in order to be our success. Everyone's born with potential, but we all have to apply ourselves and expend that effort in order to achieve it. So what does it actually mean to apply yourself? So that means that when we come to study, we have to leave our preconceived notions behind. We have to leave all our other concerns behind, and we have to bring our open minds and apply ourselves, live in the moment, be open to listening and learning something new, because that is how we grow ourselves. When we leave behind our comfort and we open ourselves up to learn. And the third is that everything we do should be for the sake of heaven. In Judaism, there's no such thing as a mundane activity. Every little thing that we do can be elevated. How? By being mindful that we are doing it for the sake of God and for the sake of fulfilling mitzvahs and bringing good into the world. Even something like taking a vacation. If we understand that we're taking that time out in order to be refreshed and fulfill our potential in this world, that vacation, that holiday, becomes something elevated and spiritual. Elijah the prophet was once asked to point out people that were going to get a huge portion in the world to come. And he pointed to 2 comedians in town, and he said, these guys are going to get such a huge portion in the world to come. And people were surprised. They said, what do you mean? They're just jokesters at the end of the day. He says, no, because they use their sense of humor to bring joy to people that are feeling sad or down. And the same, every single facet of our personality and every single situation that we find ourselves in, we can use it to elevate it and to bring good into the world.